Welcome back everyone. Today we have a very exciting unboxing and review. This is the Tiger Shark Clone Gunship, a part of Series 3 of Micro Galaxy Squadron. This beautiful piece randomly went live on Amazon as well as a bunch of other Series 3. I will post all those links in my description below. Now, the price is $29.99. This sold out within like 6 or 7 hours after it went live. However, they put the link back up there. It still says temporarily out of stock, but you're able to place an order and they will send you an email once they're able to fulfill that. The back of the packaging has our traditional illustrations as we've seen before, but everything has the Tiger Shark rendition. Here are the rest of the ships released in this Series 3. Now, when these all dropped on Amazon, I believe every single one of them sold out except for our light armor class, which those are the bundle with the blind boxes. The Scythe stayed up for a little bit, but ended up selling out. Currently, as I'm filming this, these 4 ships are out of stock, but again, I'm gonna put all the links in my description so you can save them and then grab them once they do go in stock. Aside from the beautiful paint applications to the ship, one of the biggest appeals is going to be these ARC troopers that are included with this set. Now, this is the first time we're getting any type of variant clone trooper, aside from the Bad Batch, in this Micro Galaxy Squadron line. And that just brings me a lot of joy because there's some potential to get some other clone commanders, maybe Rex, Cody, Gree, or anybody else down the line. Here is the barcode to help you track this down. It's not supposed to be an Amazon exclusive, so I would imagine it should be hitting our normal retailers. So I want to start with our boys. We have 2 ARC troopers, one of which is a captain, and then we also have a pilot. Now, they did such a good job on these figures. Just these small little details have basically perfect paint applications, all the way down to the little holsters for the blasters. The pauldron also looks great. You can see we have the attachments here at the collar, and there is no bleed or anything like that to these troopers. And that quality continues even to the back of these figures. Their articulation is still the same despite having that extra sculpting for the comma. So there is going to be some issues if you want them to ride like a bark speeder or something like that, just because the sculpting for the comma gets in the way, but I'm sure there's people out there that are going to cut into that to be able to separate the legs a little bit easier, so I guess that's an option if you wanted to go that route. So the only thing I think is missing is having an extra blue ARC trooper, especially since our recent gunships had 5 figures and a bark speeder for the same price of $29. That would have pretty much made this set perfect. Let's move our focus to this beautiful Muunilist gunship. So what sets this apart from the rest of our gunships is merely paint applications, which you can see throughout the entire body of this ship. The nose has an aggressive tiger shark look to it, with some stripes running across the top of the body and the back of the wings. Which, if we take a look back in that Clone Wars series when we first saw this gunship, was an awesome design that they decided to add in, because in real life, starting with World War I, we saw planes that had this same type of treatment at the nose of the aircraft also. And that has always added an extra appeal to this. Through collecting history, these Muunilist gunships have always held their value and increased over time, and that will definitely be the case with this one as well. So, if you're on the fence about getting a single gunship from this line, I would highly recommend getting this one. Not only is it the best looking gunship in my opinion, it is also a great collector's piece. You're gonna love it in your collection, but be warned, if you do buy this one, you will be tempted to buy more gunships. That's just how it goes. That's the name of the game. I mean, look at my ceiling up there. I got a bunch of them. Here's a better look at those paint applications within the nose, and there's no like scratching to it or like chipped paints, nothing like that, no bleed. It looks awesome. Now, when I turn this up, you can see it's also been printed on evenly. It's not like disproportionate where it's like super far over here and like super high or anything like that, so they did a good job at making it nice and even. That same treatment is applied to the stripes at the top of the body as well as the wings. Something else to note, the base color of this Muunilist 10 is different than our other gunships. It has more of like a gray look to it with a heavier wash of weathering, whereas our other gunships have like a tan base with some dirt weathering to it, whereas this one has like a black wash. On top of being an awesome looking ship, it has some great articulation to it. So starting at the nose, there are 2 turrets here. They're on a ball joint that stay within the ship, and they can maneuver 360 degrees. A little bit higher from that is our cockpit. We have 2 seats. This hatch is on a hinge joint. It will open up and also click into place. On the inside, they have some sculpting for some seats. There's no heavy paint applications or anything like that, but there is a little bit of a black wash. You can see there's also some sculpting for the panels and flight controls, and it still leaves plenty of room for our 2 pilots. At the body of the ship, on both sides, there are bubble turrets. They can move forwards and backwards 135 degrees. They can also both open up from a hinge joint, and inside there is a seat with some sculpting and some little handles. And we can also comfortably fit another clone trooper in each of these. An added thing they implemented is this little clip at the base of the chair. It actually helps keep the clone trooper in place so he's not like rattling around inside the ship if you're flying it across your house like I do. Our boys have completed their simulations and they are ready for action. I would like to point out the transparency to these plastics, being able to see our troopers on the inside. I think that's an added detail that really authenticates this ship. Next is the cargo hold. There are panels on both sides of the ship which will open up and allow you to put more clone troopers in there. Once you do get them open, you can see there are 4 designated clips to hold our troopers. However, in my Crumb Bomber video, I was able to fit 23 troopers in this cargo hold. I'm not going to do that again for this video because it took way too long and you can just go ahead and watch that video, but I will put 10 troopers in there to represent our Muunilist 10. Alright, here's our 10 boys ready to go. Now this was a lot easier to put together compared to the 23 clone troopers in the Crumb Bomber, but you can see they fit in there no problem whatsoever. Looking at this, it would have been nice to again have a second blue arc, but it is what it is. Hopefully somewhere down the line we have a chance to pick up another one. That leads us into our first removable piece. So these hatches can actually be removed, both sides of them. They can basically just pop in and out of place, and you can create a scene where you kind of just like destroy the ship and have it like completely disassembled. The wings remove. Also, this top hatch for the missiles can be taken off also. At the top of the ship, as well as the wings, you can see the black wash that's been applied. The paint applications to the stripes, again, they look great. There are bubble turrets to both wings at the top and the bottom, and they have articulation where you can rotate them all the way around. Underneath this hatch, we have our missiles, which I'm so glad that they sculpted these within the ships, because one of my favorite scenes in episode 2, when that gunship is flying over and you can see those missiles cycling through, I mean, that's just a core memory for me. Like this hatch, these wings can also be disassembled to give it that destroyed and haggard look, and this is exactly what that would look like. Our last 2 areas of articulation are going to be at the rear of the ship. We have a loading ramp as well as a turret. This is also on a ball joint like the front, so you can move it 360 degrees. This ramp opens up just like we've seen with our previous gunships. There is also a little notch here which we can place a bark speeder on. You can see some textured grooves to the floor of this loading ramp. On the inside, there's nothing special, just some like head clearance. You can probably fit a few more clone troopers in there also. Here is our bark speeder. This can be found in our Series 2 blind boxes if you're lucky enough to pull a clone trooper, or if you go to Target and pick up a Grand Army of the Republic gunship, there's one included with every ship. Alright, here it is, every single gunship that's been released so far in this Micro Galaxy Squadron line. So happy to have these. I mean, dang, they look good. But I gotta say, the Tiger Shark is definitely my favorite, but the Separatist Nightmare is a close second. Green is my favorite color, and I just love the skull clone trooper helmet on the nose with the orbish that says Separatist Nightmare. I mean, that's very just aggressive and like in your face. But I would love to know, out of these 6 gunships, which one is your favorite? I also uploaded a review on every single one of these ships on my channel, so if there's one that intrigues you, it's already posted up. Alright, my final thoughts on the Muunilist 10 Republic gunship from Micro Galaxy Squadron. It is a home run. For $29, you're getting a very detailed gunship with lots of articulation and a desired deco. And not to mention, it comes with 2 new figures, that being ARC Troopers. In a perfect world, it would have been nice to have an extra blue ARC Trooper with this, especially since we saw 5 figures released in the recent gunships and a bark speeder for the same price. This is a quality piece to have in your collection, regardless if you have it sealed or opened up. I highly recommend you picking this up once you see it in stock, because as history has shown, anything that's Clone Wars era always holds its value or increases over time. And this is one of those pieces that years down the road, this is going to be 4, 5, 6 times its normal price. So get it now while you can at retail instead of paying crazy money in the future. Again, I will post all the links in my description below. If it says temporarily out of stock, just keep checking back and forth. Make sure you save it to your Amazon list so you don't miss out when it does go in stock. And this shouldn't be an Amazon exclusive, which is great because something as coveted like this should be hitting normal retailers. But I gotta say, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video. I hope it was helpful for you. Be sure to find me on Instagram where I do toy photography, toy videos, toy hunts, toy deals, and all things toy related. When this dropped, it was like 3:30 a.m. I posted it directly to my story. And I will continue to post heavily on my stories when new things drop. If you like this video and you want to see more of it, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And I will see y'all in the next video.